Greetings. Can you guys hear me okay? I should know if we have to make sure everything is turned down, so that's just part of getting going here. The bedroom. All right. Oh. All right, so this is, I don't know, the third or fourth time we've started this live feed today. As you guys know, this is our very first living room window pet live feed. And we are going to be doing this every Tuesday from 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., where we'll be doing our daily care of these animals and just chatting and talking about the animals and looking at their habitat and pretty much whatever we want to talk about here in our living room window. And I do have Sariah here with me today. Come on over here, Sariah. And a lot of you know Sariah. She is our HappyBasins pet sitter. Sariah started working for us here, I guess a month ago? What do you think?
Yeah, about a month ago.
Time just goes by like, whoo, so fast, doesn't it? Yeah. And she had come as a visitor and then turned into our pet sitter. And here she is. She's fabulous with the animals, super knowledgeable, and always loves to research stuff.
And it's really fun working here. I really love being around all the animals all the time.
She does. You can see it in her face when she's working with the animals. She just has like this inner smile coming out of her. So she's great with them and they love her. She's very patient because it takes a lot of patience, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
We're actually training and socializing the animals as we're working with them. So you guys can they see Pasithea behind us here and Tiny Tim? These guys are waiting for food. That's all they want right now. I was going to have Sariah go put her sweatshirt on so she could grab Jaja, but we're going to have plenty of time for Sariah to play with Jaja. But right now, while we chat and I'm going to hold Jaja, Sariah is going to get the water bowls out and take them outside and just hose them out real quick while we chat. And then when she comes back, we are going to give Sariah the food for all of these guys, and she's going to get to feed them, which is the funnest part.
Yeah.
And this is actually the first time you ever came over in the afternoon, because you always come in the morning. And what's your main job when you come in the morning?
To feed and take care of the animals.
And the one thing, the big thing,
getting Jaja into the bathtub.
Getting Jaja in the shower.
Yeah.
So on these afternoons when you come, that will already be done, because that has to be done at that particular time in the morning. And that's how we have Jaja potty trained. We give her a warm shower, so she basically poops on demand. But you do have to know her basic schedule to get that going. Well, look at Pasithea. Pasithea used to go in and out of that cave like it was nothing. Here, come this way a little so he can show Pasithea there. And now he can't get in there. And we're going to have to redo the whole entire rock structure. And that's just going to have to keep happening over the next couple years, because he's still too small to be outside by himself where we live. We have way too many huge bird of prey here. Do you know what kind of bird of prey we have around here?
Hawks or maybe eagles?
Both. Yep. And we have both of them. As a matter of fact, one day Larry was taking a video of a beautiful hawk right outside the window. And when he was focused on that hawk, a bald eagle flew right through his picture frame. So he followed that instead. So that's how plentiful our birds of prey are. And we have 2 bald eagles that come back every year, migrate here every year.
But how big will Tiny Tim and Pasithea probably get?
Well, they're sulcata tortoises, which is the same thing from what I learned at the San Antonio Zoo as an African spurred tortoise. And they are the 3rd largest tortoise species in the world, and they can live well over 100 years, and they grow up to over 100 pounds. So they're those kind that get huge. It really is. So these guys are really hungry right now, which I love, because when they're super hungry, Lover, can you come in more here and show them? Thank you for being our video guy, all around technology guy. And can you see them really good? They want food so bad, they are just going crazy. All right, so Sariah, I guess what you can do is go outside and get the white tub. Just take your hand and hold it up and swipe the back, any grass or stuff off, and then bring it in here, set it on this or wherever, and just start putting the water bowls and take them outside. You ready for that?
Yep.
And Sariah has different duties, and that's one she knows how to do. One of the first things we have to train her on, because it is very important. You guys see these water bowls? This looks like it's been here for a long time, but it happens really fast overnight. Well, not even, that's why I can't even answer that, because it could happen within an hour. So I am going to get Jaja. Can you see her over here? And I'm just going to hold her for a little bit. We're not going to feed her yet. And the reason we're not going to feed her is because she will come from all the way up there and like run down. So right before I feed her, I'm going to make her do that because it's so cute. These guys usually eat around 11 a.m. And so we decided that, and it's not mean, but for the videos, we're going to start feeding them during this live session. So they're actually not going to eat until, well, we did get started late today, but usually they'll probably eat during this live stream around 1:45 or so. And that's just a few hours delay. It's nothing. And I am not, am I capitalizing on my animals? I don't know what it's called, but all I know is it's super cute. And there are plenty of days that they have to wait extra long for their food because we're out and about or doing something, or we just got sidetracked, or whatever the reason is. So it's no big deal. But they are hungry. And when they're hungry, they're super cute. And really, those tortoises, oh, can you see the tortoises right there? The tortoises are, I've read on some different forums and just different things on the internet, that they should be fasted twice each week, 2 days a week. And I can't imagine not feeding my tortoises 2 days a week. I feel like they would hate me, but it's probably good for them. But I do, some days, I just let them have like Jaja's leftover food because it's dried out. That way they're not getting too much moisture. I don't know all the scientific details, but it is something that I could look up and share with you guys for sure, which is what it is in their greens, that they can't have too much of certain greens, and that too much moisture in the food, different things I've read. We got these tortoises unexpectedly. We took them in to help them out so they could both have a better chance of flourishing and, thriving and growing. When we got Pasithea here, can you guys see Pasithea pretty good? You can see that Pasithea has these pyramids on his shell, and those are not supposed to be there. Tiny Tim has a really nice flat shell, and that's how they're supposed to look. But this was from not having proper husbandry, and that's what husbandry is, the habitat that you keep your animals in. So Pasithea did not have proper husbandry, so his shell grew like that. Now, do I know that Pasithea is a male? No, I do not. I'm just getting Jaja back for cuteness. And she doesn't care, you guys. This thing, she gets bored and goes crazy all day. So the interaction is perfectly fine for her. So because of the husbandry, that means humidity, different things to nurture the animal, type of food, the thing they live on. Like, these animals shouldn't really live on newspaper, I don't think. And they need more than just a water bowl. These guys, you guys see this habitat? They use every bit of this. They climb through and over and up on. And I also noticed that they like to try to do things they can't do, like jump off something high, squeeze between stuff, climb over stuff. They do really cute things. And nobody does cuter stuff than Zaza. She's gonna get to eat soon. She just wants to eat. She's wondering where her food is. And she actually likes it when I pick the skin off her face when it's hanging, because I noticed that she spends a lot of time trying to scratch it off. So I just started peeling it off for her, and she sits and lets me. Where are you going? You want to go interact with your friends? Zaza and Pasithia and Tiny Tim all love that sun right there. Did you guys see how Zaza just flopped down right there? You're too cute, aren't you? Everybody wants something. So I am going to, good job. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I am going to, what about, you have two more, the hard ones.
Yes.
And I'll actually help you with those. You want to turn us over here, love? So you guys don't get to see these guys a lot. This is Serapi right here. And I'll let you go ahead and open Serapi's door. And it's just easier with that sticky thing. So grab this and then stand over there more. There you go. Keep a nice window so everybody can see how Serapi flies out of there. Good.
And is she done shedding?
Yes, this is, Serapi just shed this, and it was one nice long piece, but she wraps it so tight around everything, so when I went to peel it out, it had already dried enough to break apart. But she's a great shedder, and she's very social. She comes out, there are going to be some days when I do the 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. live feed for the Wake Up, Rise and Shine with the living room window animals, and I will let Serapi come out, and she will slither on everything. I'll keep the camera on her because I have to watch her. Larry says that Serapi can only come out when there's an adult supervision, and that does not include me. I get so many things going, I forget about her. So if we're on live feed and I'm keeping an eye on her, I'll be allowed to take her out all by myself. Right, sweetie? That's correct. So we'll take her out on some days and watch her slither around in the plants. And she has on multiple occasions slithered all the way up Jaja's vines into her perch area. So it's pretty cute to watch her. She always likes coming out. So right now, Sariah is going to get these water bowls. Are you just carrying these out and not using the tub?
Yeah, it might be easier.
Yeah, whatever's easier for you, for sure. All right, sorry, girl, we have to go back in. We have one snake in this house who's guaranteed to bite you, and that is Serapi. Not guaranteed, but definitely some good chance. My hammocks are not the best props for these live feeds. We had to move all the hammocks, which is a shame because that's one of my favorite decorations in my house is the hammocks. All right, so let's get this one. How about I'll carry this out since you can keep the camera. You can come and grab the door, Sariah.
Okay.
On the animals there.
Should I go ahead and get his stuff?
No, you could just start washing those out and I'll get it. So since we got started late, I'm going to do some of this. All right, love, you can just put the camera there. on those guys. And just help us out for 1 second here. Here, I was just thinking I better take a microphone while you do that because it's really loud. I didn't think of that earlier. I guess we don't have a way to hear our live feed, so we don't know what the audio sounds like. Okay, so while Sariah's out there with those water bowls, we can actually hold Serapi. You guys want to take Serapi out? Serapi, do you want to come out here? Yeah. Now, I said Serapi's guaranteed to bite. It doesn't mean that she's going to bite every single time, but I'm always super conscious of how I hold her and her head proximity to my hands. She's not mean. She is just a taste tester. So she's kind of like a shark. Here, let's keep sitting over here so we can watch the animals. Because look at Pasithea. Poor Pasithea trying to get out of his tunnel there. I feel really bad. So we're actually totally booked up until Monday next week. So I don't know when I'm going to have time to redo that entire structure. But Pasithea does have a clear in and out of that tunnel. And he continuously keeps trying to go in and out. So he knows how to get out and in. But like I said, they seem to enjoy struggling to do things. And it's actually pretty cute to watch. And if you think about it in nature, they would have situations just like this. Not only that, but I did have Tiny Tim and Pasithea in different houses. But lately, it seems like they're really doing well in this whole habitat. And the thing with this habitat, it's plenty big enough. It has plenty of caves. It has plenty of everything, lots of resources. And the resource that I can't get into both, keeping them out here, is the sun coming through the window. They positively love the sun. So I was moving Tiny Tim every day from his habitat over there. Can you show him that habitat real quick? And you can see some rocks on the floor there because I was trying to work on things, but I just don't have time. It takes a lot of time to redo these habitats. So I've been moving Tiny Tim every day from Tiny Tim's habitat to Pasithea's habitat. And we decided to just let them stay together because they've been doing so well. And I even felt like one day Pasithea was protective of me taking Tiny Tim out. So it felt real. Zaza, what do I have here, Zaza? What is this? Oh, can you guys see her? Did you see that yawn? Zaza just had a huge yawn. Look, Zaza. Can you see her watching Serapi here? What is that, Zaza? Now, Jaja spends a lot of time sitting on top of Serapi's enclosure with Serapi underneath her, sticking her tongue out. So Jaja knows who Serapi is and where Serapi lives and everything. And Serapi gets to slither around free in this living room often. So Jaja also watches Serapi when she's out and about. She knows who Serapi is. It's nothing new. And I don't let them get too close. They have encountered each other before where Serapi was slithering along the side of Jaja up on the windowsill over there, and Serapi got up on the windowsill, and Jaja just watched Serapi slither by. It was super cute. And if you need me to readjust those rocks, we can do that. Because at this time, there won't be any time that you're here that you need to change the snake water. The only thing you'll be doing with those snakes is feeding them. So I know it's hard to figure out. Now, of course, you're welcome to hold Serapi, but you don't have to. It's up to you. And then all I recommend is, just kind of working with her body, and if her head gets too close to your hand, just direct her a different way if you want to. Doesn't mean she's going to bite you. Okay, and you can go sit right over there. And I'm going to get you your microphone. All right. Now, Sariah has a lot of experience with animals in the wild. And Sariah, can you just tell us about when you used to live in the woods and how you caught wild animals and even snakes and stuff? And maybe about a 3-minute or so story?
Well, most of the time when I lived in the woods, I loved catching snakes because we had chickens, and a lot of the times we would let the chickens out and they would crawl around, or not crawl around, but walk around. And I would watch the chickens sometimes and wait for them to catch a snake, and then I'd chase them all over the place, up the hillside, onto the creek, or not onto the creek, but by the creek, all over the place until I caught the snake or caught the chicken and then pulled the snake out of its mouth. And we had a lot of fun, or I had a lot of fun.
Oh, I see.
really
You were
nice.
chasing the chickens that were going to eat the snakes, and you would chase them and get the snake out of the mouth. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's so cute. Sorry, go on.
Yep. And we also had goats. It was really fun to have goats. There was Mocha, Big Boy, I think, Joey, and Jenny. Joey and Jenny were the babies. They were really cute and really friendly. I would hang out there all the time. And it was really fun because I love animals, and I think it's really nice. And we also have some dogs. Well, we did have some dogs. Now we have one. One passed away, and he was a really good dog. We've had him since I was born, and he was really nice and really awesome. And he passed away recently, but we're fine with that. And then we did have Lily, but she has a brand new home, and she absolutely loves it there. And now there's my dog, Chase. He's really happy, and I hang out with him a lot. We hang out together a lot. And it's really fun. I love to walk him in the woods sometimes.
Yeah, she had an incident this morning where what's his name?
Chase.
Chased after his dreams this morning, didn't he?
Yep.
Ran straight through the woods to the trail that he loves to take with his family. Can you guys see Jaja? Sweetie, can you see Jaja in that camera?
She's so cute.
I mean, seriously, she's like, I'm in this film. I'm the star. Look at me.
She's centered in the shot.
Oh my goodness, that is just the cutest thing. Can you see her color good enough, or is it kind of silhouetted? That is just so cute. So Pasithea is going in and out of this tunnel over here. Totally can't stop trying to get out of that tunnel. He goes in it, goes out, comes around, tries to go in that door, goes back in, goes inside, and tries to come out that door. So he just keeps going back and forth. And there it is on live TV right here, you guys, that these tortoises love doing hard stuff. They've grown a lot since we gave them the space. And when they try to jump off these little cliffs, sometimes they'll try to jump and they'll get scared and turn around and go down their little ramp. And then they'll come back. they'll like climb up and come back and try again and hang off and go back. And then finally, after multiple times, they'll finally push themselves far enough and jump off. And if they flip upside down, you can help them if they need it. Sometimes it's hard not to help them. We try not to help them, but it's really hard if they're really struggling. We just go ahead and help them. But we help them over and they'll go right back up and do it again. So the tortoises really seem to enjoy doing difficult things. I guess you guys can't see Tiny Tim over here. Let me see, can you scoot that way just a little? I don't know if you guys will be able to see him, but he's over there looking pretty cute too. Sitting in the sun, which typically they would be in the sun closest to the window, but this is where they get fed. So, Sariah, you want to go ahead and clean up all of the old food in here? Mm-hmm. And you can just put Serapi right into her water bowl. She loves her water bowl.
All right.
Oh, but there is no water in it.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the water bowls done, and now we need to fill them up. And I'll tell you guys the truth. I am just kind of milking. Here, I'll do this one over here so you guys can see Sariah and me at the same time. And I'm just going to fill up this water bowl here. I'm kind of milking the fact that the animals are hungry because seriously, the more hungry they are, the cuter they get. So it's no big deal. There are plenty of days they don't get fed till 2. But honestly, I mean, getting fed at 4 o'clock in the afternoon is the worst thing that ever happened to these animals. Maybe besides all my kisses. Well, poor Larry, you know, it should be his choice if he wants to tell on himself or not, or if it's telling on yourself. But he kisses these animals just as much as I do. He just doesn't do it on camera. So you guys, Sariah's filled up the water bowls plenty of times. I'm just doing this here. Can you see what's happening here, sweetie? Can you show them? You guys, first off, get into these water bowls. I'm going to talk about them for a second. If you can zoom in on them just a little. This was her initial water bowl, this plastic one or resin. I don't know what it's made out of, but it's like a, pet store one. And then she liked it so full because she would submerge her whole body in there and put her head under and come up, and she really enjoyed it. So I started overfilling it, which caused me to put the first glass pan. And I don't know if you guys could tell, but it's this pet store water bowl, this glass pan, and then a bigger baking pan these are. So I had it in this baking pan for overflow. Well, one day I just filled up the whole thing, and the pet store water bowl started floating, and Serapi started like putting her whole body under the floating water bowl with her head barely sticking up. So then, of course, I had to give her a floating water bowl regularly because she loved it so much, which made me need the third baking pan for the overflow. And she will also get down in there. So she loves her water. Sariah, I promised everybody we were going to feed the animals. So let's feed the animals now, and then you can water and do stuff if we have time. Yeah. Because you're going to get to do plenty of watering. Sariah is going to start caring for the animals all by herself without us at all. Oh, now Jaja is trying to get in the cave down there.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Has Jaja ever jumped from up there?
Yes. That's actually a very good question. I can actually tell that story while we're feeding them. All right. Now,
we need to pick up the stuff in there probably.
Yes, you go ahead and get that done. Here is your trash can. And then just pick up all that food. Be mindful of where the camera is. And I will get some food. So I'm over in the refrigerator. I know it's probably really loud on this microphone and I can cover it up, but I like to make the sound of these grocery bags because the animals know that sound. But I understand it's probably extra loud for you guys. And that's not very nice.
FedEx product placement.
What is it?
Like FedEx product placement.
What's that?
FedEx truck just went by the window.
Oh, FedEx through our living room window. I get it.
You do product placement in movies.
Yes.
Football on the table.
Mm-hmm. All right, so today the animals are going to get kale and zucchini. You guys are going to see them eat their favorites on the days that you get to see them live. And I do have a treat that we're going to give Jaja because I know she's going to be incredible. I'm also going to give the tortoises some romaine lettuce hearts because it's good for them to have some greens without, golly, I'm so embarrassed every time I don't remember that word. Oh my goodness, can you guys see Jaja right now? That's all right, love, you don't have to put it on. You don't have to put it on because all the cutest stuff happens right in that corner. You want
Jaja's so cute right there when she does that.
seriously.
It's really adorable when she wants to poke her head up and she's just like, feed me first. I'm the oldest.
Like a dog, right?
Yeah.
She's like a dog. Okay, you guys, love, I guess you can come back to the center of the room again and come in this way. And what we want to try to see is right here. And then Sariah is going to sit on the floor right here with Jaja's food. And then you guys look at her. She's like a little kid that wants to answer a question like, pick me, pick me. And then we want to be able to see the tortoises too, because they are going to be super cute. Now, you guys, just for fun, and the lizard is not suffering. The lizard gets very bored and often goes looking for things to do. Nothing in this house can run amok like that lizard. So don't feel bad for her, but I am going to pick her up just for fun, and I'm going to put her all the way up there. And we're going to see her come down. Or I guess I could just put her right here. That'll be good enough. All right, so we are ready to offer food after I shut the beeping refrigerator door here. Beep, 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 beep. Sometimes it's subtle enough you don't hear it for quite a while. All right, now everybody's ready for food. Can you see all the tortoises and everybody foraging? This is the most exciting moment of the day. Sariah, here, I actually have some floor pillows. You can sit on this pillow here, on the floor right there. Is this a good spot for her, love? Right here? All right. Yeah, just like sit like this, look. Just like that. And you might want to, depending on how you want your legs, because you'll be sitting there for a long time. Oops. Here, I'll get that. Here you go. And look at Jaja. Could you guys see Pasithia trying to go through that cave again? He just stopped trying because he saw that food's coming. And Tiny Tim's trying to climb over this little mountain right here. So everybody's ready for their food. Now, the important thing is, Sariah, that we're going to have to get Jaja down here first, because if we give the tortoises food first, then Jaja is going to make a pit stop and we'll never get her out. So you can go ahead and start holding that food up and slowly waving it at her and calling her name, and she'll know it's time to eat. And then you'll see once you get started, it's going to be a lot easier to like sit like this, maybe. I don't know, because once she comes down, I don't know about shorts. You might have to start wearing long pants when you come over.
Cha-cha. Cha-cha. Want to come eat?
Oh yeah, this is going to be just as cute as I knew it would be.
Come on, Cha-cha.
She so goes on cue. Here she comes.
Come on, Cha-cha.
And then
Come here.
you can feed her while she's on the stool. Usually I make her come all the way down on the floor. But I think for the camera so you can see the tortoises. Sometimes Jaja gets a little confused behind that glass or that plexiglass. And I usually have this ladder there for her. But I took it away so you guys could see the tortoises. So she, oh, scared her.
Cha-cha.
Sorry,
Come
Jaja.
get it, Cha-cha. Come get it, Cha-cha. Want your food, Cha-cha? Come get your food. Cha-cha, come on.
Here, I'll help it along a little. Jaja. Come on, Zaza. Come on. Come on, Zaza. Since I'm the one who messed it up, but now you guys can see the tortoises are coming too. Come on. Come on, Zaza. She's like, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
There we go. So now you
She's
have some
hungry.
very jealous tortoises, and I am making them suffer just a little, aren't I? She doesn't want you to hold it quite so high, but it still is good. There is nothing wrong with showing off the cuteness, you guys. Because if I was sitting here doing this all by myself, I would be also doing things to maximize the cuteness.
Cha-cha.
So don't think it's just for you. All I'm doing here is sharing what I love, because I do wait later to feed the animals when I have time to interact with them for socialization.
Cha-cha.
All right, I am going to give the tortoises some food. Whoops. I'll take that and this. And I'm going to give the tortoises some food so that you guys can watch everybody eating at once. How much time do we have?
You're 40 minutes.
We have 40 minutes left? Okay.
You're in 40
Cha-cha.
minutes.
Oh, I know, but I don't even know what time we started because we had to start so many times. I just know we have to end at 3. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 2:02 p.m.
Oh, okay. We have a whole hour.
Cha-cha.
I'll just give the tortoises a little bit of food.
Cha-cha.
I thought we were in a hurry. So you guys, Pasithea is not socialized. We really haven't spent a lot of time on the tortoises because they take so much time to socialize. Jaja is easy because she socialized super quick. So we had like a lot of, small wins along the way. And with the tortoises, it is not. The small wins take a long time to get any. And Tiny Tim came to us super socialized.
Cha-cha.
Tiny Tim and Pasithea are the same age, but Tiny Tim, it did not grow like Pasithea did. They both had their different upbringings. Even though they were clutch mates, they each had their own, different upbringings for about, I think maybe about 7 months of their life. Maybe they spent the first 2 months or so together after they were hatched and then got separated. So sitting here and feeding the tortoises by hand can take a really long time. Pasithea will go back into his shell and kind of hiss at me a little, or like grunt is a better word. And you'll hear me refer to Pasithea as a he. And the reason is because when Pasithea and Tiny Tim both lived in this little round one of Tiny Tim's, Pasithea was such a bully and was just really you know, like
Shasha.
pushed Tiny Tim around, didn't let him eat, and all kinds of stuff like that. So we were told that that was male behavior. And we just took these tortoises in. We did not actually even mean to keep them. Look, Pasithia is pushing Tiny Tim off the rock. But I'm going to put this lettuce over here for Tiny Tim. Look at Pasithia trying to turn around. So because Pasithia was such a bully, we think that the behavior is male oriented. And like I said, we hadn't planned on keeping these animals. So we didn't know anything about them when we took them in. We just knew she overwhelmed you, eh? Can you guys still see Jaja? Can you still see her, love?
Okay. Yeah, eat this.
We just took them in and Googled their natural environment, which was the, oh darn, do you know the desert? The Sahara Desert. And we looked at the terrain where they live, and I could see that there were rocks and dirt mostly. So we chose to give them this terrain, which works out great because their fingernails are always dull and short, and their beaks are always dull. I put their food right on the rocks. They also have cuttle bone. So they have a lot of good things that match their neck. They're snoots. They're scoots. Oh, I see. Larry's talking about the sides of the shell around right here gets filed off from them going around on the rocks, so it doesn't get too long. You'll see a lot of captive kept tortoises with their shells like going up like a foofy skirt. And they should be flat, and their nails should be short. They shouldn't have long claws at the end. You know, I think if they're getting the exercise and going around on these rocks. And I know I keep saying it, but seriously, as much as I see both of these sulcatas loving to try hard things and keep working to accomplish something that they can't do, I think it's great that they can't fit into spaces and stuff. I am going to move Jaja just like that so you can see her better. All right, can you guys see, what's the best spot for these tortoises? You know what, you guys, just for, are you sure? Yeah. I could put them up there. I mean, I don't have to move them. Wherever I put their food, they'll go.
Perfect. All three of them are great. Right?
Okay. I just want to try to keep their faces toward the camera.
Shasha. Come get this.
I'm going to move him over so Tiny Tim could get through.
Shasha.
All right, and then, oh, I know what I was going to do. So just for fun, so where are we in the camera? What's the height here that I can go? Can I go to here?
Mm-hmm.
She wants everything.
Yeah, Jaja's being greedy. So she is getting carried away with Sariah when Larry and I are feeding her. And I have never thought to tell Sariah that. But we do make her take the food from our hand. And like with you, she's just overwhelming you and taking what she wants. Like, for example, this piece right here, she wouldn't be allowed to start a new piece until she has this one down to the bone, like the way you see them in the tortoise thing. And she will pick the little sides off. So you see how I'm making her stay in one place and I'm moving the food around? Yeah. So that's how we do it. And otherwise she's not bullying you. She just is greedy.
Trying to take advantage of you.
Yes.
Like, if you can't get the best stuff.
Yeah, right. So I'm going to, what did you say for my height, sweetie?
It's taller than your head.
Okay, so I'm just going to put Jaja right here, and I am going to start peeling her zucchini so that you guys can see if she'll come down again for the zucchini. Now, she did get some food, so it may not be worth her time. And if it's not, and she goes down and sits in the sun, we'll just disturb her again. Because trust me, if we don't mess with her now, she's going to drive me crazy all afternoon. She's exactly like a kid that you have to wear out. We'll be doing things and all of a sudden it'll be like, you could just hear her tick, 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 walking across the floor. Or her favorite thing is to get up on top of Serapi and Hundo's enclosures. And I didn't show you guys Hundo because he's mostly nocturnal and he hides in tunnels. He's built tunnels all around his enclosure. All right, are you ready? You ready to go sit on your perch so we can mess with you? And we're going to see if you'll come back down for zucchini. Can I get a kiss? Can I get a kiss? She's like, no, but you could give me some more food. Now, the tortoises have food, so she may go straight down there and try to take their food. We'll see what she does. All right, and we'll sit here together. And I'm going to make the tortoises work for this food a little more and kind of just put it right here. Just for fun. I actually could make them work even harder. Should I? What? I'm teasing the tortoises.
I don't have to work that hard for food.
How well can you see over here? Pretty good. All right, I'm going to move the food over there. Look at them. They're following the food around. That's the thing about these reptiles is they can just be trained with food. And I am just going to throw their food right there, just so you guys can watch them climb. There you go. And you guys could watch them go after it. All right, let's see if we can get Jaja back down here. Uh-oh. And everything that I'm doing here is also for Sariah to see how I do things. Zaza, Zaza, I got zucchini. I hope she comes down. And I always try to make this real loud. Can you see her, love? Okay. And this is what I do to try to get her to come down here. But like if she hadn't already eaten, she would have bolted down for this. But she's already had a little bit of food, so Zaza. So we're just trying to entertain you guys. Come on, Zaza. There you go, Zaza. There you go. Come on. Come on, Zaza. Come on. Good girl. Good girl, Zaza. And I know you guys, at least those of you, I'm an early 70s kid. So, you know, when the adults were teaching me how to swim, adults probably still do it, I don't know. But every time you would get close, they would go farther away so that you would have to swim a little farther. And I do that to Jaja, but I do like to give her small wins. So even though I want to lure her all the way down here, I'm holding this food in my hand to kind of tease her a little bit. But I did give her a little piece partially the way down where she came to where I was. So what I'm teaching her is to come to where my hand is and she can get the food. So can we set a new goal?
And it's kind of funny as you're talking and you move your hands, Jaja's like following the food around sometimes.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
And I know that too. That's why I'm like wiggling it the whole time I'm talking. All right, Zaza. So Zaza, you can come right down here. I'm going to put her little ladder back up. You guys, the ladder has been fabulous because she does seem to get confused. As smart as she is, she has a hard time figuring out that this does not go through. And she also struggles with the mirrors because she doesn't understand there's not something on the other side. All right, so the tortoises are all the way down over here eating. And just for fun, I am going to move their food on them again. And there is nothing wrong with these guys doing a little work for their food. Nothing wrong with it. Oh, I can't put it there because you need to come down here. All right, I forgot we were working on a goal here. Zaza. Come on, Zaza. Come on, Zaza. Come on. All the way down. All the way down. Good girl. We can, no, wait. Ugh. Here, Zaza. Look at that tongue. Here. She's like, how hard are you going to make me work? And you see how I made her break half of it off? But then I'm going to give her she knows there's food over here. So she's looking for the food that she doesn't have to work for. And the reason I'm not just feeding her one right after the other or letting her completely chow down like she did with Sariah is because I'm also working at the same time here to socialize and train this animal. And I raised German Shepherds for 2 decades, and it didn't feel like they ever needed to be trained. They were so smart. They just did everything I expected them to do and more, of course. But with Jaja, she's the same way. She does way more than I expect. But every time she does something like I did with the German Shepherds, oh, don't bite yourself. Every time she does a cool thing, which was what I did with my dogs, is I try to recreate and make her do that again and then add a little extra expectation. I'll say something that a lot of people can't get on board with me about is that manipulation. You know, you guys, math is my thing academically, and manipulation is what creates magic and makes things happen with mathematics. That's how we have everything technical that we have, is because of the manipulation of numbers. So I see manipulation as magical and not a negative thing, although of course, like anything, it can be used negatively. But I use food to manipulate these animals into doing what I want them to do. But I don't know if they're enjoying it. We can't really say, but they're not suffering. I can tell you that. There's no animal suffering here. All right, let's give the tortoises the sheddings of the zucchini. They love these sheddings. This is the skin, and I give it.
Jaja wants it.
Yep, Jaja does. But she prefers the meat, and the tortoises don't care. All right, here you go. Now, this is where you're going to really practice. When she's eating this, I did fold it in half. She likes a little substance because I'm trying to have her not take too much. See how I'm making her rip it off like that? And you have to be careful because, you know, if you get it, well, you've had your finger bit by her. It's nothing. It's not like she bites through that was a little big. So you can go ahead and feed her some more of this zucchini.
It doesn't hurt too much when she bites. It's just kind of, you don't expect it.
Yeah, you don't expect it, and it just makes me jump, but it doesn't like hurt. You want this? Do you want this? Jaja. Move Sariah around this way.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Trying to grab it from her.
I spend more time letting the tortoises know I'm going to move them than I give you, huh?
Yeah.
What's happening? All right, so while you guys are eating and feeding, I am going to clean these windows over here. And it's really cute the way Jaja sits in the windowsill while I clean around her, which is the only reason I would want to wait to do it. So you can see how cute that is. Here, let's see if we can try to turn her around a little this way. There you go. Perfect. And there is nothing wrong with making her work for her food.
Jaja. Jaja.
Do you think I should get a light?
More and more.
Jaja.
That's the reason what? Okay.
Jaja. Jaja. Mhm. Will you read that? Jaja. Jaja.
Oh, one moment, please. One moment, please.
Here you go. Jaja.
Sorry, Zaja, but I have to plug this light in so we can see you better. Because you're so beautiful.
Jaja. Jaja. Here.
I think what she's doing with her tail back there is that she's trying to use her tail to steady herself, but she's on this little stool right here, so she doesn't have anything to push against with her tail. So I'm going to actually turn the stool this way. Turn her that way. There you go. We'll see if that helps. She'll probably step forward a bit, and that'll be helpful too. And I can make the tortoises turn around. I don't know if you guys could hear that.
Here. Want to read that? Read this? Jaja. Jaja, here. Jaja.
So while we did what?
Great.
Well, I'm going to move it around and talk about the habitat. That's why I love. Thank you. I was going to show you guys the tortoise habitat here, how we have things set up. Underneath here is a cave,
Good girl.
and the cave goes all the way around. Let's see if I can actually take this off and show you guys. So this,
FYI, the phone is darker than the real screen.
oh, So can I continue? I'm going to keep moving around. So, all right. So this is a cave that goes all the way through. And you guys saw Pasithea trying to get through this front door, but the back door he can get through with no problem. And it goes all the way around here and has windows. And I know that was really dark. You guys can see in this way, the inside of this. This is a huge opening over here. And so they do spend a lot of time walking around in here and going through the cave. And then this is the favorite sleeping cave here. Pasithea and Tiny Tim have equally dug this thing out. It's really deep in there. I know it's hard to tell, but it does go all the way back into this hole. I think it goes to this. And this may even be a flat rock. It's hard to remember, but it goes really deep. And so far they've dug to right about here. And they both like sleeping in there. And of course, sitting in the sun. And you guys can kind of see, I did a theme. These are all white rocks. You know, like I say that here in Hot Springs, Arkansas, crystals grow in the ground like potatoes. You can see all of these crystals actually came from right here in Hot Springs. So we do have some amazing rocks here. And these are all just rocks out of my backyard, literally off the ground. So those are all the white ones. And then as I moved over this way, you can see I started in with the black rock. And I don't know what different rocks are called, but it's black rock and it's really beautiful. And then all of this is grass. Depending on what time of the year it is, I go out to the field and gather a bunch of grass. But it doesn't ever last long. They kill it. But these airplane or spider plants do well because they don't like them enough to devour them, but they can eat them a little bit and it's no big deal. And then you guys can see Jaja's home up there. So Jaja lives in this entire windowsill. She has heat lamp and a heat panel. And I don't even like to say it, but we do use a heat rock over there, but it's on a temperature gauge and it's very, very low. It's like in the high 80s, like 87. So it's not super warm. You know, it's not hot, it's just warm. So we do use the heat rock, but we have a gauge on it. And she sleeps, when you guys see the Tuesday morning live feeds, you'll see that Jaja sleeps right there. And she wakes up and comes and sits over on that part of her perch there in the middle. And then she'll come down through the day, depending on what time of year, and sit in the sun. If there's no sun, then you can see all three of the tortoises trying to get under that rock. It's their favorite. So I think Jaja is about finished eating. So let's see. And then also I'll just show you guys real quick over here, Tiny Tim's habitat. And they used to both live in here. And his habitat has these little tunnels that go through. All under these, this rock and that rock are a cave. So it goes all the way through. And
Now she's just going up.
he does really well in there. But the sun is in this one, so. Now Jaja's acting full, but we'll see if she's actually full or just wants to go eat the tortoise food. Because even when she's not hungry at all, she will still try to eat the tortoise food. Because, you know, animals are just like that.
Animals just like humans.
Yep, exactly.
Jealous of what the others have, no matter what.
Yep, you want to have it. The grass is greener. What's that story about the dog with the bone and he wants the bigger bone with his reflection in the water? Do you know that one?
No.
And he drops the bone in his mouth because he sees his reflection in the water and it has a bigger bone because it magnifies it. And then he drops his bone in the water and because of his greed, he didn't get any bone. A moral story. All right, so let's see, what was the next thing? We were going to feed the animals. Oh, I know, you are going to water the plants.
Yes.
So that was going to be the next thing we did after we fed the animals. We just really took a long time feeding the animals because it's so cute. And we'll see how the live feeds go, you know, if we take it down to an hour. You know, we're just testing things out. We're test running everything. and learning how to work with the technology and learning how to be in front of the camera. Which Sariah is doing a great job with. Sariah and I have talked about blocking, smiling, speaking up, all that good stuff. I did do some plays when my first few semesters of college. And it was really fun and I enjoyed it so much. And I learned all about blocking and cameras and, you know, cool different things. So it's kind of like if you only speak 25 words in Spanish, you can teach the person who doesn't speak any Spanish. So that's kind of what we're doing here. I know 25 things about being in front of a camera, so I'm teaching it to Sariah, and then we'll just both develop together. And we are having a lot of fun trying. And thankfully to Larry for all his work with the technology. Oh my goodness, yes. I know everybody knows how frustrating technology can be. Sariah, I wonder if I should take her microphone, if the water's loud or not. Hey, RO, thank you. RO made that comment that I'm a goat on a live stream before, and it was funny because I had just learned what that meant. What a compliment, thank you. All right, so just for fun, I am going to lure Jaja out again while Sariah is watering. And she's done with that part. And also, Sariah typically takes the tortoises and puts them outside. Alexa, what time is it? Oh.
The time is 2:30 p.m.
All right, 2:30. So actually, after we water here, we can take the tortoises outside. So you go ahead and, sweetie, can you come and put this hose over the top of that light for us? Thank you. All right, so while Sariah keeps watering, I am going to... Zaza, you want a blueberry, Zaza? Look, Zaza, a blueberry? Zaza, you want a treat? You want a treat, Zaza? She loves blueberries. I don't know if she's going to come out for this blueberry. She's already had so much to eat and so much interaction. Zaza. I don't think I'm going to keep trying to lure her out. She did such a good job today, didn't she, you guys? She really did. All right, so let's get Sariah while she waters the snakes over there, because we've never watched Sariah water Serapi and Hondo. And you guys, Serapi, who you met there, she is going to come right out when Sariah opens that door. Most likely. Here she comes. And here, Sariah, let me give you show you a little here. Step right over here and kind of watch me from where you can see the inside of the enclosure real good. So you can see all the water on the back glass. And I know I said it's fine to get water on the glass, but we do want to try to minimize it. So what you want to do when you do this is open the door all the way up like that. Give yourself plenty of space to work. So now you don't have to try to hold this to the side. And when you're watering in here, you did a good job, but you do want to try to hold it just a little more perpendicular to the ground, like so it comes down. And you could give it some angle, but not too, when you were trying to squeeze your arm in there, it was too much angle. So then I can actually be more directive when I'm watering. And you can see how I'm watering the tops of the plant. Like all that plant in there as far out as it goes, because those babies are all growing roots. And then you can even come back. The other side does need to be watered, not as much. Sorry, Serapi. Can you guys see her? I just threw her in there. And then when I do it, I come and do both sides. because this is moss over here and most of the moss is gone. But you see how I just kind of spray it like this.
You know, there's a certain type of moss that I find fairly often,
Yes.
and it doesn't need dirt to grow, and I have a couple,
Oh,
and it's super easy to grow. You don't really need to water it, but if it does, it goes more green, and it's super easy to keep alive.
amazing.
And I haven't even done anything with it. It's just sitting outside on a log.
Maybe you could bring it when you come on Thursday.
Yeah.
And you can even just place it where you think it should go when we're not here.
Yeah.
Because you are free to do that.
I have 3 of them, and I find them all over in the woods. So, yep.
Awesome.
I'm pretty sure I'll
Thank
bring them
you.
over.
And also, you know, if you have a jar or something, any roly-polies you find, or, you know
like
what?
the potato bugs?
Yeah. We actually call potato bugs something different, but I know what you're talking about. And if you like pick up some of these rocks in the side of these habitats, you could see tons of them. All right, so on this one, you're gonna do the same thing, but this time, like when I do this one, I just like sit right down here like this, and I do it this way because that's easier. And I'll give you this little pillow to sit on. Just makes it easier to have a little seat. And while you're watering, you don't have to look at the camera, but you can just speak up nicely and tell them about what you're going to do to your hair.
Oh, and my mom, I'm not exactly sure when, but soon enough, she's going to dye my hair again and with more purple. And I'm really excited because purple is my favorite color. And I think it'll look really pretty. It'll be slightly bluish because, well, there's blue in it right now.
So you guys can't see it, but I would really like you to. So I'm going to take this camera off again, and that'll be good, Sariah.
Okay.
And you can leave the door open for a second because I'm going to actually show everybody. Let's see if you could see. Ugh. You see that? Look at that. Oh my goodness. That is a huge hole. So he has tunnel systems. It's really hard to see, but he's got tunnel systems through that entire dirt there. And you can see him at nighttime going in and out of them. And sometimes during the day, you can find him in there. And if he's not in his log, which he is right now, you can see his body right there. Then you can find him in the tunnels. And he is actually blue. And what blue means is that he's about to shed. So his color is slightly dull and his energy is very low. So that's Hondo's little house in there. And if you guys want a better look at Serapi's house. Sorry, can you finish closing Hondo's door for me?
Yes.
Serapi's house looks like this. I hope you guys enjoyed the water bowl story. It's really fun to like give your animals different things and see what they like and then just keep making it better. Like we ended up with that 3-layer water dish because who would have ever known that your king snake would love a 3-layer water dish? But she does. She used to spend a lot of time in that little cactus, but she doesn't go in there anymore. So I'm thinking about giving it to Hondo. All right, you guys, so I think what we'll do now is go prepare for the tortoises to get to sit out in the sun for a bit because Sariah is going to be leaving shortly. Well, then we're leaving right after, so maybe we should skip the pool today. And we still have about, what, 20 minutes left, I think?
Oh, and that moss that I was talking about?
Yes.
If you think it's too big, that moss, you can just like tear it off and distribute it throughout it however you want because you can tear it off and it will still grow.
Oh, wow. That's going to be perfect.
Yep. It's really resilient and it doesn't need much water. And if it does get a lot of water, it won't kill it. It's just like whatever biome it's in, it will live through it.
That is excellent vocabulary.
Thanks.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Oh, look, can you give him a little water in there? The
Yes.
tortoises.
I did with tiny one, but I forgot about Pacific.
Yes, because we were over here doing stuff. But you guys, the hose that Sariah is using is a hose that comes all the way out from our laundry room. And that hose has warm filtered water on it. It has RV filtration system and photo developing equipment to keep the water level at the same temperature, to keep the water temperature level. So they do get nice warm water. Of course, it's not 92 degrees Fahrenheit coming out directly, but once we water some of the plants and stuff, the water warms up. And so we do directly spray the animals. Why don't you go ahead and do that, Sariah?
All right.
And remember how we spray it off to the side a little to gauge our pressure. And then once we have good pressure, and with them, they need it really low. Actually, let me show you as an example. Yes, there you go. Good. And then you just want to kind of get in a comfortable position.
Makes a noise though.
Yeah. So, and you could do this. Like kind of spray everything. Can you see the dust? You guys probably can't see it out there, but the way the dust kicks up when you spray makes it smell like the desert right before it rains or right when it starts raining. I'm actually from Tucson. Can you guys see me spraying Jaja over there? I'm actually from Tucson, so the smell of desert rain is familiar to me and I love it. But see how I'm watering these plants that are hanging here on the sides? Those always need water too. And you guys can see Jaja loves it and the tortoises love it. And I'm just kind of taking over because you've never really watched me do this a lot. And you're going to have plenty of practice this next few days to work alone, you know?
Yep.
So right now it's good to see. Because you don't have to keep it directly on them the whole time. But you do want to get like every few days, not every day because it's too much, but like every few days, you just want to power wash these rocks. Because this whole habitat is filled with bugs that eat all of the mold and poop and little shed skins and stuff. So we just like power wash these rocks off like this.
Is that one of the reasons it's pretty clean in there?
The reasons what?
Is that one of the reasons why it's pretty clean in there?
Yes. And then like see this, there's stuff here that could still be cleaned up. Uh-oh. This is actually one of my plants. Sometimes these, like even this far gone, I didn't notice that the piece of the spider plant fell off. And even though it's this far gone, with these plants, you can still just stick it in the dirt and be very surprised. I have one in here that was kind of in the same condition. And they grow. These things are, Sariah used the word resilient earlier for her moss. These spider plants are also resilient.
Yeah.
So this much water that I'm doing right here is like once every 3 days. And then just that little bit is once in a while. But you guys see how Jaja loves that. And then another thing I do, and I don't do it on the same days. Like if I pressure washed the rocks, I don't do this next part. But I'm going to do it now just since it's our first day and I want to show everybody. But I did just do it yesterday. Is I take this hose. Let me see what you guys can see here. And I go all along the side of this plexiglass. I put it close to it, and I just like try to do a quick run over of everything, like a pressure wash of the sides. And it's all perfectly fine because this moisture goes away fast. And because I use this much moisture, that's why I can keep these animals out here in the open like I do. Because these animals all need humidity, especially Jaja, but the tortoises as well. So having access to this water like this is incredibly valuable to their little lives. Jaja wants more water. She loves it. Look at her, you guys. Can you see her? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She's so cute, loving up on her water.
And that moss, it can turn brown, and then the next day it'll be like lush green again. Because one time we went through a drought and it turned brown, like really brown, like the dirt in there.
Yes.
And then it rained, and then I saw it, and that exact same piece was green. It was really a really vibrant green.
Oh, wow. So it can change quickly, eh?
Yep. It's kind of like yellowish right now, but that's because it hasn't rained that recent.
Yeah, and it lives outside.
Yeah. Eventually, I want to find more and put it together in a little pot. Make a little habitat.
Yes. That would be incredible.
I've tried doing that before, but it hasn't quite worked out quite yet. And I'm still working on doing it.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, isn't it? Just trying, doing stuff.
Trial and error.
Yes. All right, you guys, we have 15 minutes left. So let's just sit down and have a chat. So you can sit on that stool there, and I'll sit on the yoga pillow. So far, we've had a pretty good day. Maybe you can scoot over just a bit so we can see the tortoises right behind you. Perfect. So today's the last day that Sariah, I'm going to set this right against you there, okay?
Okay.
So that I can see it, what we look like, that we're on the screen. Today is actually the last day that Sariah, don't worry, I'm not going to say her last day. The last day that Sariah has to actually work with me before she starts working completely by herself. So Sariah, starting, I won't see you tomorrow, but starting on Thursday, today's Tuesday, and starting on Thursday, you're going to be here taking care of the animals during working hours all alone.
Cool.
So she's going to be working about 2 hours a day completely by herself. I'm going to leave her alone. I'm not going to bug her. And she's going to pretend like I'm not here. And she's just going to go about doing the chores for the animals completely alone. So how do you feel about that?
Pretty good.
On a scale of 1 to 5, how's your confidence level on that?
About 4.
4 is good. All right. Well, since you're so confident, I'm just kidding. How about a short quiz? And it's not really a quiz. I know people hate the word quiz. As a math instructor, I know what the word quiz does to people, but I've always loved quizzes and tests. It's always been like I'm like a tortoise. I like to keep trying to do hard stuff that I can't do until I can do it.
Yeah.
So can you list at least 5 chores, the 5 top chores from the time you come in here until you leave?
Get Jaja into the shower. Clean out the water bowls. Water all the plants. Feed the animals. And I know there's one more. I'm just trying to remember.
It's a really important one, and it comes either before or after water bowls. And it is picking up all the stuff out of in here.
Right.
But you don't really have to remember that on the list, because once you get here and you see it in the enclosure, you just automatically pick it up. So that's probably why she missed that one, because there's such a visual reminder that you don't really have to think about it.
Yep.
So when Sariah comes over here, she's going to be working for those 2 hours a day, like I said, where I'm going to completely leave her alone. She's going to be doing that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's 4 days in a row. So you're making some good money this weekend, aren't you?
Yep.
She's hustling, you guys. So yes, she'll be doing that. And when you do, you don't you could look at the tortoise water bowls And sometimes it looks exactly like it did the day before. But sometimes an hour after you cleaned it, it looks like you haven't cleaned it in 3 days. It just depends on their behavior.
It's already starting to get dirty again.
It is. But even like if it looked like that tomorrow, you wouldn't even have to change it. So if you're here extra and you see food get in there, you can pull the food out right away and just throw it on the ground because they'll come over and eat off of it. And it's actually good for them to eat dried leftover food because it's good for them to eat hay and grass, and they get a little bit too much water in their food. So I don't mind even leaving their food out sometimes. Like if I have too many greens, I'm feeding them too much kale or bok choy. Those are the 2 greens I buy. And I also buy mustard greens. They don't like it, but if I do like I did today and I don't feed them until like 2 o'clock, I can get them to eat some mustard greens, which I do sometimes to get them variety. I'll leave it on the counter and let it dry out all night if I don't have any supplements like not iceberg, but romaine lettuce. And the romaine lettuce is just to give them something to munch on without too much nutrition, but it is high in water, and we don't want to give them too much water because from what I read, their low organs can't process all of that fluid. So we try to do little things. We have tried hay and pellets. They do not eat that, period. Even getting it soaking wet and starving, they'll only take a couple bites. So I'd have to really force them to get on hay and pellets. And for now, I'm just doing different other things. Everybody seems to be doing well enough. So what I was saying is that the water bowls don't have to be changed every day. And like, of course, Tiny Tim, we haven't been moving him back and forth. And I didn't even tell you that. It's kind of a new thing. So we'll tell you, and you can move him back and forth. Last night we moved him because he was out wandering after sundown. He didn't go to bed because Pasithia took his bed spot. So he was a little lost. So we put him in his house. Sometimes we leave him in. So he's used to going back and forth, whatever you decide to do. Yeah. But I do appreciate you working with him and doing your hand and, spending some time with him. So his water bowl might not get that dirty. And then as far as the snakes go, you do not have to change their water bowls unless you see that one of them's really dirty. Sometimes Hundo's will get more dirty because he's a more dirty snake than Strappy because he burrows and gets dirty. So you just look at the water bowls and kind of decide, oh, we forgot a water bowl today, didn't we? Yeah, it's okay. And it's easy to forget Jaja's water bowl. It's hanging up there. So her water bowl is important, but really she spends more time doing other things in that water bowl. And she gets plenty of rain showers. She really doesn't use it very much. But what we typically do with her water bowl is take it down and clean it like every 3 to 5 days. Like what I do is I stick my finger. I'll show you guys. Jaja's water bowl. What I do with Jaja's water bowl, it's hanging right here. And I'll just stick my finger in here and see if it feels slimy. Like right now it does need to be changed. I can feel a little bit of slime on there. So that's how I tell if hers needs to be changed. And if it feels not slimy at all, which it only takes like 3 days to get slimy, just depending on the temperature and stuff, then if it's not slimy at all, then I just put some more water in it. But I'll change that later. Sariah did good today. And she'll have a checklist when she comes. All right. And then what else? Watering the plants. So it is important because we water these plants a lot to keep the moisture up for the animals. So the important thing is to not water them a lot. Maybe like one day you might put the hose closer to the roots of the plants and get down in there and just give them a little bit. But no matter what, you always do these side ones. And always give a little spray to everything just to make the dirt settle. And then every few days, we power wash the rocks. And then every few days we power wash the sides, but we never power wash the rocks and the sides on the same day. And I know I'm just repeating stuff because I'm helping myself remember too. And then I think that's about it. Let me see
But
if
what's your favorite part with, like, what is your favorite thing you do with Jaja?
just holding her. I'll show you my favorite thing to do with her. That is a really good question. Jaja, can you come here, Jaja? So to get Jaja down when she doesn't want to, all you have to do is put your hand under her and let her move. Never try to grab her or hold her. You just put your hand under her, and when she tries to move forward, you just put your next hand under there. I call it treadmilling. I don't know what it's called, but she responds well to that. But I was going to show you my favorite thing to do with her, which just interacting with her in general is my favorite. Zaza, we got to show what I love. She's like, just let me go home. This is why we don't sit right at her house. Because once we move away, which let me get over here and see if I can. That looks good. All right. So, my favorite thing to do with Jaja is this. Zaza. My little Zaza. You want a treat? Maybe if I give her a treat. She does this a lot better when she's hungry and she wants something from me. But right now, she doesn't want anything except to get back over there in her sunshine. Zaza. Okay, hold on. Just hold that for a second. Let me turn her to a better angle. Zaza, you want a treat? And of course, I can't offer her a treat without actually giving her one, which Larry knows. So he went and got us, Zaza, I got a treat. You want a treat, Zaza? Yeah. Look, Zaza. Sweetie, can you go? Oh, I can see how I look right there. So I'm in the camera frame. Good girl, Zaza. Here. Poor thing. She has to do a trick for every little thing she wants. She doesn't know any better. So my favorite thing to do with Jaja is my friend told me that I'm going to love my animals to death. He was not joking, and he didn't mean it in jest. He was serious. So I sent him a video of me loving Jaja too much. And my friend is not from the US and didn't know about the cartoon of the little girl. What was her name? Oh, I can't remember. But you guys remember the little girl that loves and kisses the animals and hugs them too much? And he said, yes, that is exactly what he meant. And because I was being silly, he didn't think I understood about what he was talking about. I do understand. I just love them, and I do have cuteness aggression. So, affection aggression. Is that what it is? Mm-hmm. Affection aggression. So this poor thing has to suffer through that, don't you? You have to suffer through my affection aggression. She takes a shower every single day. She gets scrubbed with a scrub brush all the time, and everything's kept super clean. If I do catch anything from Jaja, you guys can just think of it like when you play with your cats, and if you got a scratch, something could come from that. So it's a risk that I choose to take because I love to kiss my little iguana. Don't I? She's like, yes.
And she really is like an older sister, though. If the older sister has a chance to go to their little hiding space away from the younger siblings, a lot of the time they will. No matter what, they are always jealous of what the younger sibling has. No matter what they have, they always want to find a reason instinctively to be jealous.
That is absolutely, you would know that, wouldn't you?
Yep.
Because Sariah has younger siblings that she's responsible for. So when she says that she's like an older sister that wants to get away and hide from everybody, she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. What time do we have? Alexa, what time is it?
It's
All right, guys. So we're just about out of here. Sariah, you had fun today?
Yeah.
I had a great time. Thank you guys for being here. As we start doing more of these live feeds, because we'll be here every Tuesday from 1 to 3:30, then we will have more things to talk about. You guys can ask questions about different things and we'll show you. And we'll just get more engaged. And excuse me, also we can take this down to 60 minutes instead of 90 minutes. It did feel long today since we weren't putting Jaja in the shower and taking the tortoises outside. So we will keep you guys posted on our plans, but no matter what, we will be here every Tuesday at 1 p.m. and we'll see you guys then. And don't forget, Tuesday mornings from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. is Rise and Shine with the Window Pets. And you guys just get to watch them with no audio. Just watch them wake up and start foraging. Sariah, you want to say goodbye?
Well, goodbye.
We'll see you guys again soon. Thank you for the awesome videography, sweetie. And the audio and the technology. Do you need me to end it?